thousands away. Overthink, ask you questions, leave you on the brink. What's the point of existence? Welcome back to Brains Unpicked.
Hello and welcome back to Brains Unpicked. I'm Rose.
I'm Zoe.
And we are two 20-something-year-olds who chronically overthink, spiral about the entire existence of the universe, and take you guys along with us. So I have a funny feeling this is episode 20.
I think it might be.
So
we've entered our 20s.
We have.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be in your 20s?
Rough.
Just like how it's felt to be in our 20s quite... Yeah, the last few years, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Could you tap the muff down on your mic, please? Thank you.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll continue to get rougher and rougher and rougher, like my actual 20s.
I think it's only going to get better.
Surely.
I'm faithful. I'm really holding out for 30, flirty and thriving.
30 episodes. 10 more to go and then 30 episodes.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, shall we get
Let's
into it?
dive right in.
Yeah.
I feel minorly inconvenienced of the last hour of my life.
Hour!
How much
An
did that
hour!
fresh Rolex set you back?
An hour?
An hour!
An hour!
Yeah, so basically, there's been a lot of things that have just happened. So I went to the post office to try and deliver a parcel. Return a parcel because I had to return stuff. It took me 10 days to nearly return it. Whoopsie. That's not the minor inconvenience. The minor inconvenience was every single human being that I came across. So all I wanted to do was go to the post office, go and pick myself up a nice coffee and come here. And since then, I've had a woman not tell the post office lady that the parcel that she's trying to pick up is not under the name and address that she handed over in the ID. So that's infuriating. And then just general be a bother. I've had a woman just get in my way when I was at the checkout for no reason whatsoever. She was just annoying. And then, now granted, this one's partially my fault, right?
Uh-oh.
So when I was in the car park, I might have not been paying enough attention and I slightly went over the line. It was a giveaway. I slightly went over the line. I stopped, rectified and apologised to the woman before she even noticed what happened. And then she proceeds to go, oh my God, effing blind and that. And I'm like, I literally apologised, stopped and done everything before. Whose hazard perception's working in that situation? Me, because you didn't even notice that I was there until after I braked and said sorry. And also, I was nowhere near you, babe. I stopped it so quickly. I was nowhere near at all. So she annoyed me. Then we've come here. And it was all going swell until I got something in my eye and I genuinely was crying for the first 5 minutes of the first time we tried to record this and it was just tears streaming down my face and then my laptop died for no reason whatsoever. It turns out it wasn't even plugged in properly, so then we had to completely rearrange. Then I got fed up with my chair and we have swapped chairs and now I think I'm okay unless now I feel like I'm inconvenienced out and everything's calm and happy and I can have my coffee and we can chat some rubbish. But the last hour has tested my will.
It's been
and
rough.
my patience, and I really ready was to swing. Ready was to swing.
Ready was to swing. All right, Yoda. Ready was I to swing.
Swing I did nearly.
Well, I'm so glad that you're feeling ready and feeling like you could have a deep breath and get over it because I'm the only one within swinging range.
I don't want to hit you. Not today. Not today.
Who'd have thunk that the chair was probably the root cause of it? The chair's probably been the longest building.
Oh, that's been a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
What we've decided is I need to go and buy myself a new chair because
I think we do need a new chair.
This chair's got room.
Yeah, I think what's happening.
Lovely.
I am now. I had sympathy for you every time you complained about the chair, but I didn't realize the full extent.
And I don't think I complained that. I don't think I complained that badly.
No.
A lot. But I feel like I complain a lot, but not to like a drastic extent. I think it's a lot of little complaints,
I feel
but
like
nothing big enough.
Yeah, you didn't reveal the full extent of the horrors of this chair.
Yeah, so Rose is toughing it out for an episode for me.
I can do that.
Maybe
You've done
2.
it for 20, so I can do it for, yeah, that does sound like a rough hour. I feel we've all been in a situation where maybe something's gone wrong in the car and you've hit the roof, right? But like, calm down.
I just think
Just
everyone,
take a deep breath.
everyone
Do you know what I mean?
needs to get out my road. I'm sick of everyone being in the
I
way.
think the worst offender in this situation is the woman in the post office that just handed over a name and ID
Yeah.
and expected the woman to find it
Yeah.
without
Now,
handing over the right name. An address.
I don't know if you've been to the post office that I went to,
Which one did you go to?
the Kitty Brewster one.
Not. It was at the depot.
It's not. It's buried in. I'm talking rubbish. It's buried in.
Not the depot.
I don't think so. The one next to Sainsbury's.
Oh no, I haven't been in there for years anyway.
Listen, that is a top tier post office I've ever seen one. They're nice to you, they're friendly, and they're rapid. So this woman was just a burden to me because she was slowing up a very fast process of which this post office operates at because she was the idiot. Idiot. I'm tripping over my words. What's your minor inconvenience?
So my minor inconvenience is pretty much my own brain.
Okay.
So if there's one thing about me, it's that I'm a worrier.
Right.
I've always been a worrier. I will probably always be a worrier. It's just who I am. Like, it's in my blood. Maybe one day I'll sort it out in therapy and I'll stop worrying about things because I worry about things for other people on behalf of them that it is nothing to concern me. Like, you name it and I'll worry about it.
Okay. Great.
But
I'm just going to start ditching all my worries onto you then.
I'll take it on. It's like my full-time job at this point. So, my minor, like, the worrying's not even my minor inconvenience. I'm used to that. That's just in my DNA, right?
It's
What-
in my DNA.
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 And he just takes my breath away. Breath away.
Shout out.
What is my minor inconvenience is the time at which I choose to worry.
Right.
So for some reason, my brain constantly chooses to just start worrying about something when I'm on the verge of sleep. Like I'm like my brain is shutting down. I'm on the brink of sleep. And then all of a sudden, I don't know.
Agitated,
grating noise. Yeah. Like a piece of, I imagine it as like the computer of my brain typing in a piece of code and it just puts in a piece of code about something that I should be worried about.
Right.
And all of a sudden it flashes up in my brain and that's my brain like worrying again, like it's ticking. Like last week I was like on the verge of sleep. I'd been tired, so like I went to my bed because I was tired. So I was like, surely I'll get sleep, no bother. And then right before I fell asleep, it's a long story. I'm not going into it, but I have like an energy billing issue that has been on the go for well over a year, right? And all of a sudden, my brain went, "What are you going to do about that? Like, what are you going to do? This is serious. Like, you're going to have a lot of money to pay and this is going to be really bad and blah, 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 blah." And I couldn't shut it off. I had all evening. I'd had all day that I could have been worrying about that. But no, I'd just wasted my time not worrying and then clocked in for my worrying shift right when I should have been going to sleep. And that was me the rest of the night. I thought I woke up the next morning. I must have fallen asleep at some point, but I woke up the next morning and was like, I don't feel like I've slept at all.
Yeah, the worry before sleep thing, the overthinking before sleep
Yeah.
is really damaging. I actually don't know what you do about that.
No,
There is something. I
Yeah.
just don't know what it is.
probably.
I personally make up stories. Rather than thinking, I just make up stories.
Do you know
that don't
what?
exist.
So do I, right? But then somehow the stories circle back to my worry.
I used to do an absolute crackpot thing as a kid, and I
Yeah.
just don't know if I'm ready to admit it on the internet.
Do it.
Right. I don't know if I'm ready. So I used to do this thing. This is gonna.
Mhm.
I am mentally okay, right? I'm okay.
Okay.
But I used to do this thing when I was a kid. If I couldn't sleep, there was two things. One was I would do a curtain closing, like a big dramatic theatre curtain would close, and the room would get darker and darker. So I'd
In your brain?
in my brain. So I'd
Yeah.
see the red curtains close until it went dark, and then I'd start to fall asleep.
Okay.
The other one was I'd get shot up to space, and there would be a giant cookie. And no, this is so weird.
No.
No, it
People
is.
count sheep. People genuinely count sheep.
No, this is weirder. So there was a giant cookie in space, and I would have to eat it. And I wouldn't have to finish it. I would eat the cookie, and then the next night I would then like resume where I had left off, or where I remember it leaving off. And if I finished, now when I say massive, I mean like this took up like, it was just blackness. It was
I'm
just a
imagining the
sphere.
moon.
Like, no, it's flat. It's like it's not like a 3D, like it was like this. It was like a big circle flat in space.
Right.
And like a black space.
Okay.
And there was like stars and stuff around, obviously. And when it was finished, I'd need to run on a treadmill that just existed on space to reload the cookie.
This feels like, did you ever have the Simpsons like Nintendo game?
I might have.
This feels like a game. I'm sure Homer had to eat a really big donut and then had to run on it to.
Maybe maybe it was from that.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know where it came from. I actually didn't admit to doing it until I was an adult.
Yeah.
I didn't tell family members.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew. I clocked in and went, this is an odd one, don't say it out loud. And until recently, and I've just started telling loads of people.
Yeah.
And I need to stop saying things.
Do you still do it?
No, I don't do it anymore.
No.
It was
I'm
only
going
a
to
kid
try
thing.
it though.
It actually
Because
works.
like the minute, honestly, the minute that piece of code comes into my brain, I'm going to reroute it
You're
to,
gonna be like,
Cookie Land.
Back to cookie space.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've just got to eat. No, I'm not going to say sometimes you just got to eat a space cookie, because that is in fact a very different. You do you, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you've just got to create something that helps you sleep. And counting sheep wasn't the one, because I'm not good at counting.
Fair
So
enough.
instead
Yeah.
I ate a giant
Fair enough.
cookie
Sheep
in
are boring
space.
as well. I suppose that's the point.
Yeah.
Sheep are boring. But yeah, so that's my minor inconvenience. It's my own brain. It's always been my I'll worry about stuff to the point I make myself ill.
Yeah.
So if anyone needs anything taken off their conscience, you might as well give it to me, because I'll be worrying about
Send-
something anyway.
send
Do
it
you
over
know
to
what? It might
Rose.
actually be quite refreshing to worry about other people's
Oh my God,
problems.
send in
Yeah.
your worries and we'll
Yeah.
like debate them.
I'll worry them for you. I'll worry them so good.
Oh yeah, we'll just get Rose to worry them live.
Yeah. But then that might, well, I suppose
I'll
that might inspire more worry.
Yeah, I'll
Don't
read-
watch your own worry.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
read you a worry. You can break down the worry and worry it out, and then
Yeah.
that means for everyone the worry is put to rest.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
let's do that.
let's do that.
Okay.
Okay,
Send us
great.
your worries.
Send us your worries.
So yeah, that's minor inconveniences, I suppose. then.
Yep. Let's move on to our brains unpicked. Let's
Mhm.
unpick those brains.
Yes.
Have you got something to unpick in that brain?
Yes, I do. Well, it doesn't need much unraveling. I just
Okay.
want to know your thoughts on it. So, if you were, because this is the dream world and our dreams come true, if you were a Taskmaster contestant,
God, no, don't, because please put this into the universe. I want nothing more in my life than to be
Yeah.
a Taskmaster contestant.
Same.
I need to somehow get myself into the UK comedy sphere, despite the fact I have no comedy talents, just to get myself on
listen,
that show.
we're having a comedy podcast. Surely one day, little Alex Horn will see this.
I honestly
They
cannot-
need to be.
cannot tell you enough how much I think I would have the best time.
Oh, definitely. I desperately want to do it. But so you're a Taskmaster contestant. What is going to be the outfit that you wear for a task?
See, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to wear an outfit.
No, you don't. Some people don't. Well, I mean, they all wear the same thing every
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
But some of them have like a costume.
Yeah.
And then some of them just wear like
It's
a
actually
regular
really
outfit.
interesting how it's filmed.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do like 7 or 8 tasks in a day. They don't know
Yeah.
what order they're going to be in across like a week or whatever, or like 2 weeks, and like it's really interesting. I'm really interested in the behind the scenes of Taskmaster as well.
Could
But I've not
we
listened to the
get, like, a-
podcast.
Oh no, me neither.
So
It's
maybe-
like Ed Gamble, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
I love Ed Gamble.
I quite like Ed Gamble, yeah.
He's a good contestant.
Mhm.
I think I would do something that's comfy,
Mm-hmm.
but like silly.
Yeah.
Nothing that's, the thing is, I don't like overheating, so it would need
Yeah.
to be something short sleeved. It would need to be something that gives me movement. Do you know what I mean? Because I would
Yeah.
want to run about the joint and stuff. So a supportive sports bra kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the exact thing would be.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it would be
Mm-hmm.
off the top. Have you got an idea?
Kind of. So I think it's me. I need to get a bit of leopard print in there.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, I think practically, I think a jumpsuit or like a boiler suit type thing is a
Right.
good way to go.
Okay.
I do have a leopard print jumpsuit, but I feel like, yeah, something along those lines. I don't know why I hadn't thought of this before, but immediately in my mind a cape came into
Well,
to
that's
play
my
there.
thing.
Yeah,
I thought like a cape or a cloak or
yeah.
something.
Oh, I love a cloak.
Do you know something that's like
Yeah.
I can like flick out the way?
Mhm.
Something I can be like,
Yeah.
goodbye.
Yeah, you can
But
make
then
dramatic exits and entrances with your cloak.
The
Yeah,
Incredibles has, taught me against capes and cloaks. Do you know what I mean? Edna Mode said no to no.
oh, that's true.
no
I
to
forgot
capes.
about that.
So
Sorry,
there
Edna
is that
Mode.
element of it. So maybe it would just be. I don't know. I would need to think about it in
Yeah.
more depth for more time.
Yeah,
But it wouldn't just be a run of the mill outfit. I think it would
No.
just be like a silly theme or something.
yeah. No, I do think I would go for some sort of jumpsuit, boiler suit. The only thing is, I would have to wear stuff underneath it just in case,
Yeah.
because I feel like for some reason, Taskmaster contestants frequently end up stripping down quite
Yeah,
a bit.
yeah. But yeah, I
Although
would-
it's mainly the men I feel that do that. Yeah,
I just wouldn't wear anything that's long sleeved
yeah, that's
or
fair.
something like that. That would
Mhm.
freak me out.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe I would put like something like big eyes or something on my boobs,
That's funny.
just because like
That's
a
cool,
silly,
yeah.
like Miley Cyrus style or
Yeah.
something like.
And watch Alex awkwardly be like,
yeah, and I'd constantly be like, my eyes are down here.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Is everyone enjoying the latest season?
I love the new season of Taskmaster.
I've not seen the
so
latest episode,
much.
but
I'm obsessed with
it's
this
so
cast.
good.
They're
Yeah.
just so aggressive.
Talking about how you have to have some sort of a practical outfit, though, I feel like Matt Bainton.
He is messed up on so
shorts.
many levels.
His
That poor man.
shorts.
That,
I
It
know.
was a cute idea, but
Yeah.
God was the execution poor.
And little did he know that Fatia was so right. I remember the first team's task when she showed up. She was like, "Why the hell are you wearing that, mate?" And he was just like, "I don't know."
Yeah, funny.
Yeah, it is a good season though. I am
Maybe I'd
thoroughly
wear like a
enjoying.
bald cap or something.
I could see you just going for it as Pitbull, to be honest.
Imagine. I think that would be copyright
Mm.
of some sort. I don't think I could go as Pitbull, but if I went as a bald man who wears aviators, maybe it would be a different issue.
Would it be just like a bald cap slapped on, or would you like really have it so you looked like
The issue is I get really overwhelmed when I'm hot,
Mhm.
and I actually can't go over it. It's really bad. So
Yeah.
I can't picture an outfit because I
Yeah.
can't think about what would I not be overwhelmed wearing when I'm hot, because if I start
Right.
to panic, I start to get hot.
Okay.
So I'm like, I would need to find a cooling type outfit that looks
You
cool
could have
and
some
is
sort
funny.
of cooling system
Yeah,
inside.
maybe. Yeah, so
Like,
that's part
yeah.
of the issue. Is
I'm just envisioning like a task going wrong and it cutting to you like in your bald cap and you like ripping it off.
That's it.
And,
So
like,
that's why I'm
steam
like,
coming
I would be
Yeah.
too sweaty. So
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah, there is the issue
Yeah.
of I do get really warm
Yeah.
really quick, especially when I'm like stressed out.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, maybe you could have a think about it and we could put together like photos of what our outfits
Okay.
would be and we
Yeah.
could share them.
Let's do
Yeah.
that. My brain's unpicked for you is, if you were to chop off a finger, what finger would you chop off? Now you're thinking too much. Right now, answer. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Stop counting numbers, Sammy.
3, 2, 1.
This
Damn.
one, I think.
Your right ring finger.
Or would I get rid of a pinky? You don't really need your pinkies, do you? I can't get rid of my pointers. I
Right.
can't get rid of my middle fingers.
Right.
You need your thumbs.
I killed a man once.
With this thumb. I might get rid of a pinky, actually. You don't need your pinkies.
Fair.
Like, I can still grip things with that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of a pinky on my left hand because I use my right hand more often.
That not
I
make
don't
you feel
need
like quite dinosaur clawy.
probably, but I'm gonna need. No, well, I won't need that finger, right? But like, I definitely don't need my pinky. I'm getting rid of my left pinky. Final answer.
I'm going to get rid of my left middle finger because I think it'd be really funny to flick people off and then it's just a stump and they'd be like, what's going on? And I'd be like, and then it would be like,
That would
and
be
they'd be
good.
like, and they would
Yeah.
just be like that, and be like, and I'd be like, that's funny. I
That
also
is
feel
funny,
like,
yeah.
you know, that missing that space, like that's still like a quite flexible part of my hand.
Yeah.
So I reckon like I could still grip stuff with that. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That was, yeah. Like I don't think that I would have an issue like maneuvering things if I didn't have my middle finger. Whereas I think
Oh wait, your middle. See, I think I would.
no, I wouldn't. Like, let's look. I can
Yeah, but if you had to pick up something really,
like what?
really heavy,
I could pick up something really heavy.
go on then.
I'm super strong. Look, you've got a handle.
I know, but not everything's got a handle.
But you pointed at something that had a handle.
Okay, well, pretend it doesn't have a handle.
I would just use my other hand. But yeah, you would just go like that. But obviously that finger wouldn't be there, so I would just do that.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. For our audience who didn't watch that, Rose just made me pick up the big cup. Her massive
I watched
twat cup.
my twat cup.
Is that commonly used name, or is that just
No,
something
so this is so when I first got this cup, it's not a Stanley, but it's just like a cheap Primark one. It was it was Adele, our friend Adele.
Yeah, but it was called a twat cup before that. Before you got that one?
No, well, I had a different one.
Right.
But it was a cheap one as well. And she was like, only a twat would walk around with that. So it affectionately, I think, became known as the twat cup, and it's been the twat cup ever since.
So I thought that was just what everyone called it. I just thought everyone called it a twat cup. So I think I've probably used that in so many circumstances and no one's had any idea what I'm talking about because I just thought that was its name.
Well, I also frequently bring it up now and people laugh and I'm like, yeah, I suppose. It is, I'll admit, it's a very twat cup, but do you know what? I'm hydrated.
So, yeah, I don't know why I was really thinking about like what finger. I just regularly think about if what would happen if one limb was missing. Like when I was a kid, I used to walk the dogs in this a foresty bit, and I used to regularly think what would happen if I just fell down all of these stairs and broke my leg and had to get that leg amputated, and what would the dogs do? And just like, oh, what leg would I want it to be? I'm always thinking about a scenario in which I get hurt and what I'm most willing to lose. For example, the limb that I want to lose the least is my right leg because it has all the nice tattoos, and I would absolutely sob my heart out if I lost that much money and that much art. Because I feel like that's
fair.
a big part of me.
Yeah. I would have to lose my right leg because I've not got anything on it.
Like any other part of my body, I'm pretty sound. Like if I lose, you know, I've got lovely tattoos on my arms and that. If I lost that arm, I'd be like, right, well, is what it is. But if I lose that right leg when I'm so close to getting a half sleeve on that leg, I'll be absolutely devastated.
Yeah. I can never lose my back.
No, you cannot.
Like if I ever fall and the skin comes off my back, I'll
that'd be awful.
If you had to lose a toe, which toe would you lose?
Probably my middle toe again.
That's what I was thinking.
I just think it's a good.
I think it would be funny to just be like holding up your feet and it's just like.
Oh no, that makes me feel a little bit sick.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So I was just I'm glad we unpicked that.
I'm glad we unpicked it for you. Yeah.
I'm glad that it's not just me who thinks about removing limbs.
Yeah. I would you rather lose your nose or an ear?
How do my glasses stay up without a nose or an ear?
I
For the
don't know.
audio listeners, Rose just looked at me and shrugged.
That's for you to figure out.
An ear.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think I could
because
get a
it's
decent
not as
prosthetic
obvious,
ear.
is it? Yeah.
So, yep. Great chat. Good. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to dive into the little book of something. I have prepared something this time, and I'm actually prepared. I'm not just going to sit and read from a book. I've actually researched and done something.
I'm excited.
You inspired me to be a bit more organised. So we're going to dive into William of Ockham.
Ockham?
I don't know if it's Ockham or Ockham, but I would say...
Oh, is it a Scottish place?
Ockham. Ockham. Right? So it's been a while since we've dived into some philosophy, and I thought we'd take a time to jump away from the big three. Goodbye, big three.
Bye, big three.
And go to the kind of medieval times.
I love medieval times.
Yes. So this is around the 1300s.
Okay.
Medieval
Yeah.
times. We're in the 1300s anyway, right? So it's important to note at this time philosophy was very heavily tied still to religion. And religion was a big aspect of the time of the medieval times.
Yeah.
The West was predominantly focused on Christianity, whereas the East was in the early developments of Islamic thoughts.
Okay.
So Islam's kind of come to the surface. Christianity's big in the West. It's big fat religion time, right? And our man Willie was not a big fan of religion.
I sense trouble brewing.
Yeah, so he was an Englishman, and there's a philosopher who came round about the same time as him, who I've not actually read enough into, and I can't remember his name. Begins with an A, like his second name begins with an A. And they had similar thought processes. They kind of took from Aristotle's way of thinking, and William Ockham's big kind of thinking was about simplicity, and actually the choice that you, if given choices, go for the most simple because that's normally right.
Okay.
So
yeah,
if something doesn't print out of the printer, you could be like, there could be so many options of why it didn't print. What's the simplest reason it didn't print? There's no paper. Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than you going, oh, but I sent it to the printer and this happened and that happened, and I bet you it's because I didn't press sender because there's 6 things in front of it. It's probably because of something very simple.
So does he then, like, if he's decided that's what it is, does he correct that and then work through the solutions if that still doesn't work, or does he just move on assuming that's what it was?
I think he moves on assuming that. That's not really why I'm talking about him today, is about his theories as such. I'm more talking about why he got exiled.
Exile!
Yeah. So actually what we're diving into is the controversy around him. That's what I was
Oh my god, did he get cancelled?
He got cancelled.
Big Willie got cancelled.
Big Willie got cancelled.
Damn!
Let's talk about the cancelled philosophers.
Medieval cancellation.
Basically, little was known about his early life, which is known for most philosophers, but what we do know is that he was controversial, and in 1328 he was excommunicated over his writings. So he was originally in England.
Yeah.
He studied in England between places in London, and then he went over to, I want to say, Italy.
Okay.
Might not be. He ended up, somewhere in, it must have been somewhere in Italy, because it was the Pope that excommunicated him. So he was all good in the hood, but he started to argue that Christianity was maybe not the be-all and end-all.
Yeah, that would get you a bit.
And he started to kind of delve it, and he kind of believed that the church and the state should be different, and that there is actually no evidence, and he didn't believe any evidence around God. He was like, God is a faith. Rather than like this strong evidenced existence. So he's very much, it's something for people to believe in. It's not an actual concept. Like it might be something people believe in, but it doesn't really there. There was he couldn't see any substance to it, no matter how much evidence was given to him. He just wasn't playing for it.
Like you can believe in dragons, but it doesn't mean dragons ever existed.
Yeah, so he kind of believed it wasn't a knowledge. So it was God is a matter of faith rather than a knowledge, and rejected all alleged existence of God. And this got him into beef, basically. I think that quite a lot of his writing, so he ended up having to like face like a big panel or something like that at one point.
The Destiny panel?
The Destiny panel. So he had to like stand up against like a kind of, I can't remember, it's like a school of thought kind of people, and like argue the case. And then he got excommunicated, and he got exiled, but he ran off illegally, so he wasn't supposed to leave, basically.
So he kind of like skipped bail a little bit. Yeah,
he ran off. It wasn't Berlin. He ran off to, it might have actually been Berlin. He ran off to maybe Germany or something else, went, I'm having nothing to do with this, and hid with some other folk, and was exiled and could not come back.
Okay.
So my question about this, because I'm like, as interesting as his school of thought probably was, and all of the he has his own thing called Occam's razor, which is really interesting. It's just a bit complex to try and get into just now, and it's all to do with that simplistic thinking. My question is, if you were to be exiled for a belief, what would it be? So what are you going to be exiled for? So his was the fact that he thought that religion was a faith and not a knowledge, which was controversial at the time. What do you think? Because being exiled isn't necessarily a thing anymore.
No.
But what would get you exiled?
That would be a big slay in this day and age if you could be like, I've been exiled. Yeah.
And now it's just you're banned from a country.
Yeah.
And you can fight your case.
What belief would I like to be exiled for?
Yeah.
Maybe that I should be the only one allowed on the road and in supermarkets, and no. Try to think what my big ideals are. Can I ask what you would choose to be exiled for?
I think I'm quite an opinionated person, so there's probably many, many, many things that I should be exiled for.
Slightly off topic, but the other day I just started singing Hoist the Colours High to Zoe, and she genuinely ran it. She genuinely ran out the room.
I don't know what it is about that song that does things that freaks me out.
That's fair enough. Oh God, I can't think. I know I have really strong opinions, but I just can't think.
And I don't want you to dive into the opinions.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
But it's like that thing where you get asked for a song and every song leaves your request and leaves your head. I'm like, I can't think of a single opinion I have at this point. So I'm just gonna go with my random beefs with celebrities who have no knowledge of who I am or who will never
You're
have.
going to be exiled from the celebrity list.
Yeah.
Okay.
For just like shouting about
You're
how
never going
some
to
people
Hollywood,
don't
baby.
have talent and shouldn't be allowed to
I
be.
can imagine you just like in the middle of Hollywood somewhere, box out, stood on the box.
Yeah. I'd line them up all in front of me and I'd be like, and you! And another thing, what you call that a performance?
Watch them all just cry because they've never had negative
and then
feedback in their
I'm
life.
taken away in cuffs and shipped out because I'm not allowed back in.
And then someone really important comes in and goes, nah, get her exiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the big bad of Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't know who that would be.
Well, a lot of them are in prison.
But you know what? I don't want to be in their clubs. I should be calling them out.
Their clubs are nasty.
Yeah, not good.
But yeah, so I thought I'd take a different kind of look at it. And
I like
look
that,
at
yeah.
little controversial.
Yeah. That is a big slate to be exiled.
To be exiled because you didn't believe in God is really funny to me.
Yeah.
By the Pope.
The Pope, no
the
less.
Pope was like, no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Robert the Bruce was exiled, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
No, excommunicated, sorry.
He's actually really interesting. It's worth reading some more of his stuff. I'm going to try and learn some more about it.
Oh, okay.
But I think that I wanted to touch on something just a little bit lighter in terms of philosophy and make it a little less heavy.
Where did he? So if he ran off, did they eventually where did he get exiled to eventually?
Do you know, that's a really excellent question. And
Oh.
if I had the book, I could tell you the answer.
Apologies.
But I started writing this last night and then started reading more about him and never wrote anything else down. So like I started reading a book about him, some couple pages on a book. Then I went to Google, started researching him. Then I looked at more research today, and then I went to write it all down, and I forgot. So I was hoping you weren't going to ask me loads of questions, and you in fact did.
Sorry,
It's
apologies. Well, can I ask a different question that doesn't require you to have written anything down? So you've been exiled. Where have you been exiled from? And where are you choosing to go?
I think I'd be exiled from the West.
Yeah, the whole of the West.
The whole of the West.
She can't be stopped to get rid of her from the whole Western world.
I don't think the Western world would want me at
Fair
all.
enough, yeah.
They would get rid of her. She does not have the ideal. That makes me sound like I'm some sort of terrorist. I'm not, right? But I just think that if I'm going to say something, I'm going to say something with chest, and it's going to get me in trouble. And the whole of the West is going to be like, get rid of her.
Like you show up to every country and every airport doesn't let you in.
Yeah, they're just like, no. I'd probably end up somewhere random in the Middle East crying because I get too warm.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If I could find somewhere cold that I could go to, maybe I'll go to Russia.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
God, Jesus.
I'll just go to Russia.
Christ, that's not what I was expecting.
I'll just go hang out there.
Fair
I can
enough.
fit in.
Fair enough.
I'll just go hide somewhere in Russia.
Yeah.
Russia's bad, not the country. Putin's bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I'm going to shut up.
I reckon if I were exiled from... I feel like if I'm getting exiled from Hollywood, I'm getting exiled from America and anywhere that has like a prominent arts scene.
Right.
So I reckon I'm just gonna, and no one will prompt this, but I'll just take it upon myself to like go up the mountains.
Okay, fair.
And
fair.
I'll just disappear. I'll just disappear into the forests and the mountains, never to be seen again. And everyone will be like, where did she go? Like she was only exiled from like a couple of places, and I just
in the dream
disappear.
world, I would just escape to a really small Scottish island and go hang out there.
Yeah.
And hang out on a wee Scottish island somewhere.
I feel like that would get boring though.
I could go to like Atlantic surf and the beach and stars at night. Oh, the Scottish Isles are amazing. Yeah, let's go hang out there. Do you have a would you rather? Well, you've already had one, but I'll let you have another.
I don't have one as of present, but if you go first, I'll think.
Okay, so my would you rather is would you rather so in this scenario you are on a desert island and it is you and one other person.
Right.
Would you rather it be the person that you hate the most, but they are the most useful person to be on a stranded island with, deserted island, or to be be with the person you love the most, but they are absolutely no use to you whatsoever? So the person you hate could build a house and could fish and could set fires and could look after you.
Yeah.
You don't know if they choose to look after you. They might not. They might go,
That's true.
we hate each other, because it's a mutual hate. You both hate each other.
Okay.
And the person who you love and adore would be great, but they would be, and you obviously you would enjoy the time with them, but they would be able to contribute nothing. They couldn't build. Anything that they done actually was a hindrance to you, therefore you would need to start over. So they like actually could not be involved in anything that you do, because they would make it worse for you.
See, I think I would have to go with the person I hate, because I feel like if I went with the person that I love the most, if they were that much of a hindrance and that like much of a bother, I think it would become like really easy to hate them anyway, and just resent them. So you've gone from having someone that you love to someone that you absolutely despise. You might as well start off with someone you absolutely despise that potentially could be of some use to you.
Because like best case scenario, you hate each other, but they're willing to let you live in the house that you built. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're willing to work with you to get out of their sheer hatred for one another. You're able to get out. Was that the worst case scenario? Best case scenario? That was the best case. Worst case scenario is you actually never need to see each other on the island, and you'll probably just die before them.
And there's nothing saying that you're not capable. You could be perfectly capable of building your own house as well. But also, in that scenario, you at least have the hope of maybe one day you'll return to see your loved ones. But if you're stuck on an island with someone who was your loved one, who's now your mortal enemy.
And also, like, to be honest, if I'm on the island with someone I hate, I could get them to build everything and then kill them, eat them, and use everything that they made. Because I hate them anyway.
Fair.
Not that I'm suggesting that cannibalism is a good thing.
Do you think the meat would be tainted from the hatred?
No, I think it would taste better.
Delicious. Scrumdiddlyumptious.
No.
Yeah,
I've said things I probably shouldn't have said out loud in this episode.
Fair enough. Do you know what? We've all been there. Yeah, no, it has to be someone you hate, because I'm going to end up hating the useless one anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're both going on the island with the person we hate the most.
yeah.
So we'll see you there.
I'll be there shouting, Wilson! Well, at least I'll be watching my back now that I know that you want to eat me. I'm not building you fucking anything. You'll be staying at the other end of the island. And you'll just see me one day uncovering a speedboat. And I'll be like that. Bye.
Just left booby traps all over the house.
Yeah. Right, well, I've still not thought of one.
Okay, well, we don't have to do it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to an end of episode 20 of Brains Unpicked.
Woo!
It has been an absolute pleasure to be here. I hope you have enjoyed listening, watching, or however you consume your content. If you did like this episode, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, email us, hit us up on social media. Come on, engage with us. Try. We want to hear your worries. We want to hear what would you do if you were to be. What would you be exiled for? We've got lots of questions for you. So why aren't you listening?
Please answer. We want
Yeah.
to know.
So again, if you do want to join in a wee bit more, it is brainsunpicked@gmail.com, or on social media it is brainsunpickedpod. We are primarily active on Instagram and TikTok, and we want your thoughts.
Give us your thoughts.
Okay, right, that was a lot. Miss you, love you, bye.
Bye.